19. Key to all-round success. Krit me dakshine haste, jayo me savyahita. Gojit bhuesamaswajit dhananjayo hiranyajit. Atharv Ved 7:58. I have self-effort in my left hand and victory in the right one. I can win cows, horses, money and gold, that is, I am capable of achieving prosperity through focused self-effort. How to be successful in our undertakings? This question frequently comes up in every mind, especially in the minds of youths. In childhood, everything looks like a fairyland. Many ambitions spring up in mind and subside, but with the advent of youth, a strong urge for getting in the chosen field of endeavor becomes strong and insistent. They go on trying to find new avenues of success, but only a few actually succeed. There are many who give up as utter failures and go on lamenting their ill luck for their plight. Many persons believe that success depends on luck. Such persons go on repeating the maxim, Bhagya Falti Sarvada, success is always achieved by luck. Persons with such an entrenched attitude of negativity slip into a mode of habitual laziness and indolence. For persons blindly depending on luck, success is only a coincidence. It has no scientific procedure without any systematic process. Such indolent persons do not know the real meaning and purport of luck. What we call luck is the result of our past actions. Virtuous actions result in good luck, while evil actions fructify as ill luck. The results of our past actions, known as luck, can be altered by our present actions. Our ill luck can be undone by our present virtuous actions and converted into good luck, while our evil actions weaken our good luck and take no time in converting it into bad luck. Only those who know the importance of the great maxim, we are the makers of our own destiny, move fast towards all-round success, material as well as spiritual. There is an effective procedure for success with its constituent factors. These factors are mainly 7, like the 7 continents, 7 chakras and 7 worlds. Energy streams of these 7 elements give us the glory of success in life. These are 1. Sustained hard work along with unshakable self-confidence. 2. Unwavering faith in divine grace. 3. Firm determination to achieve the object of pursuit. 4. Undaunted courage to go on pursuing the goal in spite of setback. 5. Art of warm relationship. 6. Equanimity in the face of difficulties. 7. Exuberating cheerfulness. When these qualities become part and parcel of our life, they gradually bestow on us sevenfold successes. These are 1. Material prosperity. 2. Impersonal excellence. 3. Emotional maturity. 4. Holistic health. 5. Sharp, penetrating and clear-sighted intelligence. 6. Intuitive perception. 7. Spiritual growth. This is a universally well-tried and tested experience. We can also do an experiment. Yogrishi Pandit Sriram Sharma Acharya helped thousands of persons achieve all-round success in their lives. In Gayatri Parivar, there are thousands of Parijans who have risen from persons of modest means to become multimillionaire. Similarly, a number of persons of ordinary-looking mental caliber have become highly learned scholars. This became possible as a result of particularly concentrated and single-pointed individual endeavors magnified manifold by Gurudev's grace. This is a fact that Gurudev bestowed on them his spiritual powers of penance, but it is equally true that these people also changed their lifestyle and way of thinking. Gurudev used to say that his yogic energy would also be ineffective in the case of those who do not change their lifestyle. Many years back, a person approached Gurudev. Economically, he was very poor, and also lacked good education. After visiting and trying a number of astrologers, tantrics, and occultists, somebody advised him to seek blessing of Gurudev, being endowed with supernatural powers of goddess Gayatri. After giving him a patient hearing, Gurudev told him, "Dear child, first have firm faith that Gayatri is source of Ved, that is, goddess of knowledge. Secondly, she is also the goddess of wisdom. Hence she blesses only those who are determined to cultivate and awaken knowledge and wisdom in them. If you are willing to do it, I will teach you the method of doing it. Once you have knowledge and wisdom, you have the master keys to success." That man expressed his willingness to do his best to put into practice Gurudev's teachings. Then Gurudev said, Trust that sustained efforts coupled with blessings of God make every impossible goal attainable. To get blessings of God, you have to carry on regular Gayatri Sadhana. As regards the technique, the first requisite is to clearly decide the target and have an intense desire to achieve it. Instead of indulging in vain imaginations, one should strengthen his main aim. The second point is to have strong faith. This faith should be on your own capabilities and in the deity of your devotion. Third requirement is persevering and balanced effort undaunted by obstacles. You should never lose heart. You should maintain equilibrium in your efforts so that no tension could affect your capacity adversely. Fourth point is to accept and face situations as they arise. By following step-by-step path of success, you are sure to reach the goals you set for you.
20. Mutual understanding and tact. Sahadayam samma nasyam vidvesham kanomi va anyonyam abhiharat vatsam jatmivghanya. Atharva Ved 3:31. I create kind-heartedness, understanding and amity for you. As a cow loves her newborn calf, so should you have love for one another. Tact and understanding are interrelated. Only those who are tactful can develop mutual understanding, and only those who know the art of such understanding can be tactful. The whole edifice of Jivan Sadhana stands on these two pillars of behavior. Any deficiency or malfunctioning in them makes the course of life topsy-turvy. Many practical difficulties and mental disorders crop up like weeds and prevent the growth of inherent potentialities. Those who aspire for Jivan Sadhana and development of their inherent capacities must be thoroughly proficient in the art of tactful dealing and mutual adjustment, because only when there is a certain level of peace in outer life, could there be attainment of calmness and concentration in the inner life and uninterrupted flow of spiritual consciousness. Persons oblivious of the essence of Jivan Sadhana often neglect this truth. As a result, not only their daily life becomes disturbed, but their interior also remains uneasy, sad and restless. To emerge out of this syndrome, we should develop deep understanding of our practical life. In the words of the great poet Saint Kabir, our behavior should be such as "Auron ko sheetal kare, apahu sheetal hoye," makes others cool and remains cool itself. How all this could be possible in the present atmosphere of jealousy, ill will and suffocation, and if possible, what could be the methodology to cultivate these attributes? This question may be agitating the minds of readers. But for the practitioner of Jivan Sadhana, the solution is very simple. We have just to assimilate some key elements of lofty thought and conduct in our lives. We will have to honestly accept the truth that it is the thought and emotions which we sow in the soil of life that, after germinating and growing according to the seeds, appear before us as the harvest. As we sow, so we reap. Therefore, we should always be alert about what we are thinking of others, what is our feeling towards them. Any ill feeling or ignoble thought must not be allowed to gain foothold in the mind under any circumstances, regardless of what feelings others may be harboring towards us. For his malevolence, the other person will be responsible, and he, not we, will reap its poisonous fruits in due time. If we react by reciprocating in kind, thorns will start littering our lives too. Hence we should imbibe this verity of life well this very moment. Now for the key to behavior, the first point to note is that our behavior is two-layered. In the first layer come those persons with whom our dealing is very intense and intimate, for example, members of the family. The second layer comprises of all others whom we meet for some reason for a specific duration. This duration could range from a few minutes to a few years. In our behavior towards the intimate persons, we should try to understand minutely their personalities, their tastes and their sentiments, and try our utmost never to be the cause of their hurt. Another important thing in this regard is that while we should perform our duties towards them, we should, on our part, have no expectation from them. This attitude will ensure both mutual adjustment and tactful dealing. Of the persons in the second layer too, we should try to develop an objective understanding of their personalities. It is true that this requires keen insight, but the external aspects of the personality can be gauged even with common sense. With this understanding, we will be able to identify the particular aspect of a person's personality with which we can have a working adjustment. In routine interaction, we should consciously avoid interfering in another's private life or offering unsolicited advice. Giving opinions or sermonizing all the time without rhyme or reason strains mutual cordiality. Param Pujya Gurudev was supremely proficient in the art of pragmatic behavior and mutual understanding, which was often noticed in small events and gestures in his life. Whenever a visitor came, Gurudev would get up to give him a welcome. He would draw a chair himself and offer it to the guest even if many parijans be present there. If any of them attempted to help him, he would politely decline and say, "It is my responsibility." Give respect, take advice. Gurudev was a personification of this aphorism, whereas we are wont to do the reverse, that is, we give advice and expect respect. Another key to tact and understanding is to distribute pleasure and share pain. Gurudev used to become very moved to see anyone in misery. He was ever ready to sacrifice every pleasure to mitigate a visitor's sufferings and would spend a big part of his tap acquisition for this purpose. His followers have to tread this very lofty path. Their behavior towards others and their mutual relationships should be suffused with love. If difficulties come in the way, they should bear them stoically and at no stage should thus get perturbed by adversities.
21. What should be ideal attitude towards adversities? Ayuto hama yuto me, atma yutam me, chakshura yutam me, shrotra yutam me, prana yutam me, apana yutam me, vyana yuto ham sarvah. Atharvaved 19:51, 1. I am unconquerable. My spirit is unconquerable. My eyes are unconquerable. My pran shakti, subtle life current, is unconquerable. My apana life current is unconquerable. My vyana life current is unconquerable. I am fully unconquerable. Do not get perturbed by adversities. Face them boldly. Problems and adversities come into everyone's life. They spare none. Even those who live in comforts or hold high positions are confronted by such situations. Life is, in fact, a composite of dualities, pleasure and pain, riches and poverty, fortune and misfortune, and so on. That the one facet may exist but the other not is simply not possible. Even if it were to happen for some reason, life would become unidimensional, monotonous and dry. For complete and all-round development, times of trial are as much necessary as moments of joy. Either situation puts to test our subtle power of discrimination. If the time of adversity is utilized properly, it leads to the cleansing of the karmic sediments deposited on the soul over many previous births, as also to the purification of the inherent urges and to increase in inner strength. Hence, instead of running away from crises, one should learn the technique of using them as lessons. Blessed are they who make themselves thoroughly proficient in this art. In the history of mankind, the lives of all great men and women are a testimony to the verity of this statement. They all were sculpted and shaped by nature with the chisel of adversity and misfortune. The lives of those who live only in comforts and luxuries remain like uncut gems which command no real value. Whether difficulties are small or big, one should try to develop a positive and purposeful attitude towards them. There is, of course, no need to invite troubles, but a dogged spirit of struggle and perseverance in life does need to be inculcated. This quality comes to those who are non-sparing towards themselves but charitable towards others. Those accustomed to an affluent lifestyle are staggered and even devastated by one blow of adversity, while those who lead a hard and austere life are mentally strong and capable of weathering any storm with fortitude. The other quality which needs to be developed is the courage to accept challenges. All the problems, whether of health, money, an examination or some other matter, present before us a challenge. Instead of getting perturbed or shaky, we should confront and grapple with them. True it is that this fight will require us to make major changes in the pattern of our lives, in policies, values and habits. But what of that? What is right and justified must be done. To this end, no effort should be spared in marshalling all the inner resources, energy and courage. Let us take the example of a health problem. This situation tests our patience and self-control. The doctors invariably prescribe, along with medicines, many dietary restrictions and a particular regimen of life. These instructions entail a life pattern quite different from the one we are habituated to. Consequently, the majority of persons fail to follow them, succumbing either to the charms of the palate or other entrenched habits. To break out of this mold requires strong determination, which comes from discriminative knowledge and enlightened thinking. The same applies to other kinds of problems. They all require courage, fortitude and sagacity. He who has developed these qualities in him is also able to quickly formulate an effective plan of action, a plan which not only manages the crisis effectively but also bestows fresh gains. These gains could be in the form of either new channels of material progress, renewed courage, increased mental strength or improved health status. Yugrishi Gurudev used to say that adversities test our self-confidence and faith in God too, and we must come out of this fire purified and cleaned. Indeed, if adversities test the devotee, they also test God. If it is a trial of the devotee to see how firm his faith is in God or in his Sadguru, spiritual preceptor, the latter also takes the test in how loving and caring he is towards the devotee or disciple. Experience tells us that God and Guru never let the devotees come to harm. By their infinite grace, mountains of trouble turn into anthills. An incident in Gurudev's life is a shining example of the positive and constructive attitude towards an ordeal. In the beginning of 1984, a malefactor, instigated by some demonic persons, made an attempt on the life of Gurudev. Although he could not succeed before the spiritual shield of Gurudev, yet he was able to inflict many knife wounds on the body. These injuries forced Gurudev to rest and recuperate for some time. In later years, while referring to this incident, he would jovially remark how enjoyable it was during those days. There was no work as such. So with total concentration of his being he kept communing with God. The sadhana for sukshmikarana, subtilization, could also be completed. Such a positive attitude in the midst of adversities is an inspiration for others to channelize the moments of crises into fruitful direction.
22. Stress is a boon, welcome it. Udyam te purush navayanam, jivatum te dakshatam kanomi, ahi rohima mantam sukham ratham tha, jirvirved thama vadzi. Atharva Ved 8, 1, 6. O Purush, mankind, may you prosper, not decline. I give you vital breath and Purushartha, endeavor. Ride this pleasurable chariot, body, which is the seeker of immortality, until old age, disseminate spiritual and scientific knowledge. If the moments of stress are utilized properly, life would continue to grow and mature smoothly, although, of late, stress has emerged as the main stumbling block in human progress and growth. It is true that at present stress is generally considered a curse and it is devouring human abilities at an alarming speed. The top echelon of the society is badly in its grip, and the situation has worsened so much that even school-going children are falling prey to stress-related ailments. But what exactly is this much talked about stress? Stress is the name of the challenges that are being continually thrown at our body and mind by the circumstances and situations. Haphazard lifestyle, declining culture of cooperation and camaraderie, Cutthroat competitiveness and unbridled ambition, all these have combined to aggravate the intensity of stress. Incidentally, stress in itself is not a disease, but if left unmanaged, it becomes the source of all psychosomatic maladies. Continuous and prolonged stress shatters the immune system of the body, which, in turn, falls an easy prey to an unending series of diseases of the heart, stomach, respiratory system, skin and whatnot. And the poor mind? The less said about its plight, the better. It is the mind which is its first victim. Passing through the stages of fear complex, anxiety and depression, the condition occasionally deteriorates to the extreme of mental breakdown. But such an eventuality occurs only when stress is not wisely handled and utilized. With proper utilization, malevolence of stress can be turned into the benevolence of gains. For this, we need to adopt the right attitude towards life, positive thinking and a healthy lifestyle. The first point to note in this connection is that stress is a messenger, not the message, a warning, not the worry. But for this timely warning, we would be deprived of many precious opportunities and gifts which nature and life wish to bestow on us. To create wakefulness is the first and an invaluable boon of stress. It is another matter that in our pessimistic mindset we mistake this wake-up call for a threat and get panicked. Stress is also a great activator of body and mind. In this phase, the activity level of mind reaches such a feverish pitch as cannot be achieved or even imagined in normal sedate circumstances. Ditto for the body. Through stimulated nervous system and the endocrinal glands, the body primes itself and becomes fully organized, alert and geared. The whole energy of life peaks for the big fight ahead. The next stage in this frenetic preparation is the single-pointed convergence of all concentration on solving the stress-generating problem. Perhaps this scenario is never possible without coming under stress. Solutions to the problems which otherwise would have troubled us for eternity are seriously sought and found in the stress-born state of high alertness. The usefulness of the stressful moments can also be gleaned from the augmentation in inner strengths. Powers of imagination and analysis, quickness of decision-making and other such mental capacities multiply 1,000 times by the right utilization of stress. The body, too, develops better adaptability to new situations and its overall work efficiency increases greatly. But the one condition for deriving all these gains is that, in times of stress, our conduct should not be guided by cowardly panic and the tendency to run away. The need of the time is a problem-tackling mentality. If we orient ourselves in this direction, the boon of multiple new gains is certain to accrue. Unfortunately, the modern man is failing in this regard. For the gallant, stress comes as the sound of the battle bugle, and they gird up their loins and get into the battle mode. They view the developing situation as a challenge and an opportunity for snatching some benefit. Contrariwise, the timid get scared for life and lose even their normal abilities. But possession of the right mental cast notwithstanding, we all should consciously learn the right technique of stress management. Just as the war-weary soldiers triumphantly return to the barracks for the much-needed rest, we too should know the art of rejuvenation by resting after having invested the moments of stress into profitable channels. Regular practice of pranayama, yogic breath control, dhyan, meditation, and Gayatri mantra jap in daily life fulfill this need. Only a few minutes of pranayama augments our body's immune system and keeps the doctor away. Similarly, dhyan is a unique method to achieve physical and mental equipoise. Practitioners of dhyan are already fully cognizant of its benefits. Others too must partake of its gifts. A daily recitation of Gayatri Mahamantra inculcates a vision of life which empowers us to break the stranglehold of stress and make it subservient to our will. Thus, if the potent triad of pranayama, dhyan and Gayatri mantra jap could become an integral part of our daily schedule, stress will be transformed from a bane into a boon.
23. Recognize the value of time. Saman urve adhi sangatsya, sam jannate na yatante mitste, te davanam na minnanti, vratanya mardhanato vasubhirarya damnah. Rigved 7, 76, 5. They gather at the one place and take decisions with one mind. They do not act against one another. Not shirking their duties, and living in majesty, they do not break the decrees of gods. We should know the value of time and honor its sanctity. All the secrets of life are encapsulated in this. Every instant, every moment is invaluable in itself, because it brings with it unique opportunities for us. One moment missed is one opportunity gone. Whatever that opportunity could have given us, we are now completely deprived of that. Every moment is thus priceless, because it has no equal, no substitute. What it is to bestow on us can never be given to us again by any other moment. To grasp the unmatched importance of time, we should always bear in mind that it was a moment that gave us life. From that instant of birth till today, we have drifted in the stream of time formed by ceaseless drops of moments. It is another matter that in this drift we practically remained unconscious and kept losing many things, missing the unending gifts of time. If we go into its reasons, the lion's share of responsibility may be laid upon our insentience-driven lethargy. The other reason is our disorderly lifestyle and its concomitant bad habits. Caught in this whirl, we have become a perpetual loser of opportunities in life. In our dim and dumb stage of mind, we are not even cognizant of this loss, and if, on being reminded by somebody, we do take notice, it is of no purpose because by that time it has become too late. The great poet Saint Tulsidas very aptly says, "Samay chuki puni ka pachitane, ka varsha jab krishi sukhane." Meaning, there is no point in repenting after the time has passed. Of what use is rain when the crop has died? More or less the same is the plight of our lives. Still we fail to imbibe this truth and do, or rather do not, as is our wont. Latent urges of the unconscious, habits and sanskars have such a spell over our consciousness that we just do not have the sense to do the right thing at the right time, and opportunities keep skipping by us. If change has to come, sit up right now, even as you are reading these lines. Come out of the stupor and wake up, because the value and significance of this moment is more than all the past and future moments. It has arrived bearing for you the golden gift of awakening. It has come to make you conscious of the sanctity of time and your own ordained duty. Do not let this moment pass in vain, do snatch benefit from it. Be firmly resolved this moment that you will swim like a champion swimmer in the inexorable flow of time. He who determines the direction of his course, makes his own paths, and with untiring endeavor break the hold of the strong current, is ultimately able to reach the shore. There is a corpse-like state of existence too. The corpse too drifts with the current, but being lifeless and senseless, is not in a position to do anything. The waves toss and fling it about at will. It has neither any goal nor the ability to reach it with proper utilization of time. But then, what can it do after all? A corpse, that it is. Let us pause and mull over our situation. If we are being unable to make right use of time, is the nature of our existence any better? Yogrishi Gurudev in his regular addresses to the Parijans frequently emphasized the importance of time. He would say that the other name of Samay, time, is Kal, the law of time, which is the controller of life in all respects and all aspects. He who does not respect Kal is annihilated by Kal. He who follows its rules has his glory immortalized by Kal. The first key to the observance of the rules of Kal or time is that we recognize the truth that our life is floating in the great stream of time. Only by purposeful use of the approaching moments and seconds and days can we actualize life's potential. The second key is that the life is our pious responsibility. We have to carry it out with full wakefulness. The third important point is that on every birthday, when the exact time of our birth arrives, We should prepare and adopt a work plan for the next 1 year. Ensure that the plan is framed in a way that it permits fruitful utilization of every day and every moment. The fourth point is that this work plan should assign due importance, with proper time allocation, to all the dimensions of life, viz., the body and health, intellectual and spiritual pursuits, family responsibilities, office work, studies, social obligations, etc. Fifthly, this annual plan should have a breakup of monthly, fortnightly and daily schedules too. The daily schedule would form our daily routine. The nature of this daily routine should be that every day could be lived fully and in its entirety. A rebirth every morning, every night, death. Try to experiment with this intrinsic feeling every day. Time-wasting bad habits, like casino, cinema, nightclubs and the like should be driven out. Start today, this moment. Do not make excuses for these urges, and your habitual laziness in the name of recreation. For recreation, go for good and healthy pastimes. In this way, only by making meaningful use of time can we be able to fashion a positively magnetic personality.
24. How to make the personality magnetic? Priyam ma aku deve supriyam rajasu ma aku, priyam sarvasya pashyat u shudr utarye. Atharva Ved 19, 62, 1. O Lord, make me dear to gods. Make me dear to kings. May I be dear to all the viewer, be they Shudra or Vaishya, the servitors or the professionals. Attractive personality is formed by the judicious mixture of strength and emotions. The better the synthesis of these two elements, the more magnetic and charming the personality will be. Both the attributes are doubtlessly essential, but their real significance and meaning lies in their proper synthesis. In isolation, either of the two loses its effectiveness. Strength alone without emotion and sensitivity does make a person capable and competent, but simultaneously makes him cruel-hearted too. Consequently, people, even as they feel attracted to the powerful person, also remain inwardly scared of him. The same is the case with emotions without strength. In this condition, the personality develops tender feelings but lacks in determination and competence. This type acquires, the poor fellow, image inviting from the people a patronizing attitude. Such a personality can be anything but attractive. It is true that the thinking and behavior of such a person touch the inner chords of those who come in contact, but for want of sufficient capability he is unable to provide them any succor. All the tender emotions in life cannot add up to power and strength, and such persons are generally forced to lead the life of an imaginative and emotional but weak person. Therefore, if you are desirous of making yourself magnetic, combine your strengths with emotions and then see how soon you become the center of everybody's attraction. People of every age, class and qualification will vie with one another to be near you. The world will hold you up as a role model. It will talk about you, dream about you and want to become like you. Whether you are a man or woman, farmer or officer, student or housewife, it does not matter. In every condition and every situation, the doors to personality furbishing are open to you. You have only to make a start. The first step is to get ready to make the body and mind receptive and deserving. Remember, body becomes capable by self-control and mind by introspection and contemplation. A disciplined and regulated lifestyle and light physical exercises impart a certain beauteous luster to the body. For proper expression of this beauty, the dress should be in tune with the place and occasion. In this connection, the important thing to always bear in mind is that the real source of the accentuated charm of the body is the subtle vital energy, and this vitality comes only by tap and continence. Purity and piety increase person's vital force, whereas unrestrained sensual proclivities sap it. To maintain attractiveness for a long time, one has to retain vitality and vigor for long too. To become capable and strong at mental plane, develop the habit of introspection because it helps promote one's abilities and hidden talents. Identify what is your special talent, your innate aptitude, and set about to work on that. It could be anything: music, sports, management, housekeeping, or any other branch of knowledge and art. If you find yourself unable to identify it, consult your friends, or guardians, or even Shanti Kunj. Do not lag behind at any level in the rigorous striving for talent nurturing. Physical strength and mental prowess make one powerful. Now the turn is of the virtuous qualities that give expression to this power. So, try your utmost to inculcate the qualities of courage, bravery, patience, and fortitude in you. These attributes will make you the sinecure of all eyes, not only at home and in the immediate locality but the society at large. Only the virtuous and the righteous radiate real magnetic, not the vicious and the wicked. Even the latter need a cloak of virtues to look attractive. It is another matter that after the spurious facade is gone, they are in for great ridicule and derision. The truly virtuous, on the other hand, retain their pull till the last breath. Besides being strong and capable, one must be sensitive and emotional, because power without sensitivity makes a person arrogant. People will soon start running away from him. The three expressions of sensitivity presently relevant here are: 1. Service to the needy, 2. Generosity, and 3. Tolerance. You will be able to develop your abilities through the instrumentality of all the three. The one basic rule to be observed is, be a giver, not a beggar. Only he who gives attracts, a beggar repels, and people just shun him. In this way, the sadhana of combining strength and emotion will continue to add charm to your personality. But you will have to remain continually vigilant for its full and effective expression.
25. Self-expression should be effective. Ashwina sarghen ma, madhuningtam subhaspati, yatha varchasvati vacham avdani jananu. Atharvaved 9, 1, 19. O the gods of light, Ashwini Devas, endow me with the honey made by honeybees, so that I may speak to the people in a sweet and illuminating tongue. Speech is the chief medium of expression. It reveals the inherent qualities of the personality. Behavioral skill, talent, and inner strengths all find expression through it. But on the obverse side, the blemishes and weaknesses are also mirrored. For the wise, even a short conversation is sufficient to assess the general qualitative level of a person. It does not take long for the pettiness of the petty and the goodness of the good to come out through this medium. But although the chief medium, speech is not the only one, there are other agencies too, namely, facial expressions, eye expressions, modes of sitting and standing, gestures, and so on. They are all voices of the personality which many times are able to communicate it fully even if the tongue is silent. The buoyancy of self-esteem, the gleam of self-confidence, the listlessness of self-contempt, and the hesitations of latent complexes, all these feelings and emotions reveal themselves this way. This expression of self is not an entirely unconscious or involuntary action. It can be improved and refined by the use of willpower and by proper training. But for this, we will have to understand and evaluate ourselves afresh, watch our conduct, and resolve to root out the bad habits which have crept into our characters. Are we ready for this? Ask this question of yourself repeatedly. If the answer is in the affirmative, you can definitely express yourself so effectively as to impress and even overwhelm those whom you meet. For this, you will have first to keep close watch on the bodily gestures and postures, which constitute what is called the body language. How you walk and sit, what is your demeanor when meeting any person, etc. are some such aspects which need a fresh look. Walking with a drag or thump, shaking legs while sitting, and many such common habits make the personality unattractive or even repulsive. Some people walk with the head bent down, some bite nails while sitting or twist fingers, some keep picking nose. These and other such bad mannerisms show that the unconscious has our personality and its expressions under its thraldom. The sooner this condition is changed, the better. When you walk, the gait should reflect elegance and assurance. Moving with measured pace and comfortable ease is a sign of self-confidence. Similarly, while preparing to sit, it is not proper to drag the chair or seat. After sitting down, do only backward that for which you are sitting there in the first place. Do not allow the involuntary actions of the unconscious to take a grip over you. Such finer points acquire greater significance when we go to meet somebody or present ourselves for interview. In such cases, permission should be sought before entering. If called in, you must not forget the appropriate salutation or greeting. There should be, on these occasions, a hint of cheer and natural calmness on your face. A tense expression shows lack of self-confidence. When you meet someone, meet affably and genially, regardless of the immediate situation you are in, that is, even if you are busy or surrounded by problems. A conscious effort to generate such emotions within oneself helps the growth of control over feelings, cool assertiveness and bold self-confidence in life. Also keep in mind that a dress mode appropriate to the occasion enhances the effectiveness of self-expression. Now comes the turn of expression by the tongue. Often the mode of speaking too suffers from many faults of involuntary mannerisms, for example, idiosyncratic repetition of particular words or phrases, speaking either haltingly or too rapidly, launching into speech immediately after taking a seat and without surveying the situation, or alternatively, taking so much time to take off that the time is over. These defects are again the outward signs of the pressure of the unconscious. We should free ourselves from its hold. Whenever we meet somebody or go to a public gathering, we should speak in a manner which is in tune with the ambience. Normal courtesies towards those present should be observed. We should speak only when our turn comes, or after obtaining due permission. The matter should be presented methodically, point-wise, and supported by self-explanatory examples and proofs when required. Every stage of the speech should reflect our inner assurance, but not arrogance. When someone has to be contradicted, it should be done politely, with due respect to the person concerned. The speech should be made in a comprehensible, polite, firm and controlled tone. Be it speech or conduct, the more it is made free from the unconscious-driven reflexes, the better. Only such achievers, through their impressive personalities, assume the mantle of true leadership in life and society.
26. Characteristic attributes of leadership. Aham grinami mansa manansi, mam chitmanu chitabhirata. Mam vasheshu ahdayani, vah kanomi, mam yata manurvartmanat. Atharva Ved 9, 1, 19. I draw your mind with my mind, and mold it to my accord. Follow in my wake by bringing your chit in harmony with mine. I cast a spell upon your hearts, come along with me by doing as I do. How to lead effectively? In all walks of life and at every level, educational institutions, games and sports, industry, commerce, politics, social service, religion or the wider canvas of other collective human pursuits, the presence of inspiring, competent, wise and dynamic leadership is essential for success. If the leadership is enlightened, there is a wave of progress, development and prosperity. If it is otherwise, degeneration sets in all around. An inspiring leadership is able to magically transform the crumbling structure of any institution, society or nation, and uplift it to pinnacles of glory, whereas under a lackluster leadership even the heights attained in the past crumble into nothingness. How could that magical leadership be produced which could work wonders and get Herculean tasks accomplished? The answer is simple: through development of the attributes of competence, dynamism, commitment, farsightedness, caring concern, magnetic attraction, accommodation, etc. It should be borne in mind that it is such qualities in an individual and not the individual per se that command respect, adoration and following. From such leaders, who are the most prized assets of society, people have high expectations of right guidance and resolution of their problems. But if, unfortunately, in the name of leadership arrogance of power is foisted, then the subordinates suffocate and suffer. An arrogant and power-drunk person can never inspire anyone. Even his hangers-on only flatter him. They never really cherish any genuine goodwill and respect for him. The ideal of perfect leadership is achieved and emerges in a person whose every facet of life radiates inspiration, who is brimming with the energy of great courage, who has the capacity and ready willingness to consecrate himself at the altar of his goal, whose character has such a fragrance that his followers swear by him, who is able to bring about full coordination among the members of his team, and who is ready to sacrifice his own personal interests, however big, for the collective interest of those he leads. Such a leader spontaneously evokes feelings of goodwill, respect and faith in the hearts of his followers. His one gesture has the power to galvanize dormant masses. His words cast a magic spell over millions and millions of people. In whichever direction he turns, masses of humanity follow him. In the twilight period of his earthly life, Param Pujya Gurudev's heart was filled with pain at the paucity of leadership in the country. This anguish was often reflected in his words, the pitiable condition of our institutions, the humiliating sight of our country looking up to others for its every small and big requirement. This situation has arisen solely because there is no effective leadership around. In the absence of such leadership, nothing can be achieved. In course of his address to Parijans, he would often say, the country does not need yogis, sannyasis and mahatmas but self-sacrificing and courageous public servants who can give right direction to the society. Leadership is provided by exemplary conduct and deeds, not by empty words. The need of today is that people be like Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Patel and Subhash Chandra Bose, who were always ready for every kind of sacrifice for the sake of principles and common weal. Let all of us, Parijans, introspect and evaluate ourselves. Are we willing to alleviate the agony of Gurudev? If your answer is in the affirmative, move forward. There is place for you in the front ranks. Only you will have to dive boldly the ocean of virtues and pick up the right qualities. In whichever direction you wish to lead, you will have to consciously strive to acquire the highest competence and excellence. This could be in any field, services, medicine, management, or any other. But remember that although ability is undoubtedly a prerequisite for effective leadership, it alone is not sufficient. For good leadership, boldness and dynamism are also essential, and so is their transference to the co-workers. It is also imperative that he be a good judge of the merits of his colleagues, recognize the unique talent of each one of them, and share this knowledge with others. This will generate mutual confidence, respect and goodwill. When the time comes for any recognition and honor, the right thing to do is not to step forward in a hurry to own the credit. The credit should be unreservedly given to members of the team as a whole. This will reinforce their confidence and faith in the leader. Along with this, they should also be given encouragement and inspiration through words of praise and by concrete recognition. Such gestures fill the hearts of his co-workers with increased enthusiasm and uplift their spirit. Their work efficiency is increased manifold. Their interrelationships become warm and cordial. To maintain this spirit of bonhomie, we should make it a point that in our mutual interactions we highlight each other's merits and never highlight the weaknesses lest feelings be hardened and relationships strained. Another quality, which must be developed for augmenting the characteristics of good leadership, is the ability to innovate, that is, to think new ideas and execute them. Whatever be the field of work, there should be constant endeavor to formulate practical work schemes aimed at accelerating the progress of the organization. Also, glad and enthusiastic participation of the co-workers in the execution of enterprises should be ensured. If we are able to gradually acquire and develop such leadership attributes within us, we will not only be able to provide successful leadership in our specific work spheres but also become pace setters for others. An ideal leader leads from the front by example by walking his talk. In the Gita, the divine teacher says about enlightened leadership, Yadyad acharti shreshtha tatede vetaro jana, sa yat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvarte, Gita 3-21. Whatever the person does, that is also followed by others. What standard he demonstrates by action, the people follow.
27. Who can be a true visionary? Devim dhiyam manamhe sumdikam abhishtye. Varchodam yagyavasa esutirtha no asadvase. Yajurved 4:11. We aspire for the divine intellect, which gives joyous illumination and ensures completion of the yagya. May that intellect be in our possession. To be a visionary is to acquire the ability to look far ahead into time and glimpse the future. This ability is a gift of that divine intellect which assesses its potentials and weaves a dream around it. This very dream is the goal of our life. It charts our paths and takes us in the right direction. In those who have this ambition, a unique capability develops. They are able to perform such deeds as others cannot even imagine. Their vision acquires the power to penetrate the mist of the present and perceive the future clearly. If you feel an urge to become someone like this, it is just natural. In fact, absence of such a feeling would be a cause of worry because that would be a sign of inertness. If there is any hint of this inertness, get rid of it and take steps in the direction of becoming a visionary. For this, the first thing to do is to cherish lofty aims and ideals. What should be the type of these ideals may be gleaned from the sayings of Gurudev. According to him, only he is a believer who can clearly visualize the dazzling sun of a summer noon in a dark and stormy night sky filled with dense rain-bearing clouds. In other words, only he who can dare to dream of a glorious future cutting through the forbidding pall of dense darkness of hopelessness can be a true visionary. This requires an integration of a bold and imaginative mind and a subtle discriminative faculty. Indeed, we all have an imaginative mind and indulge in fantasies all the time. Sometimes, in our world of imaginations we become a billionaire, sometimes a record breaker in academic pursuits, another times a famous scientist or even the Prime Minister of the country. The highly fertile mindscape is always a kaleidoscope of colorful imaginations. The reason behind such a state of mental jumble is that our imagination is not tempered with the subtle power of discrimination. Only when the two faculties are harmonized do they create a composite and focused dream, a dream which is not a vent for repressed and unfulfilled desires but a correct reflection of the dormant divine qualities within. An illustration of this may be found in the life of the President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Once a child inquired of him whether he had read the Mahabharata. The President replied in the affirmative. The child asked again who among its many characters appealed to him the most. Everybody knows that the multi-dimensional characters of the great epic reflect almost the entire spectrum of human nature. The President, who understood the quintessence of the Mahabharata, replied that he was very much impressed with the character of Vidur. Why, was the next query of the child. The President explained, because Vidur opposed the wrongs of those in authority and dared to raise his voice of dissent when all other stalwarts like Pitama Bhishma, Acharya Drona and Karna had surrendered themselves to the whims of the persons in power. This reply of the President subsumed his own dream, which was the product of an imaginative mind and subtle discriminative knowledge, the dream of sculpting his own character in the mold of Mahatma Vidur. Let us ask ourselves whether we can dream such sublime dreams. We must dream of being the best, the noblest, the most sublime, and never allow petty thoughts and ideas to dominate the mind. Whatever we want to become, a scientist, an officer, or an artist, we should add one more aspect to that, and that is cultivation of the noblest character. To realize this exalted dream, 4 steps need be taken. The first is the step of a runner. It means that you should have the energy and spirit of a runner who is committed and determined to show his skill and ability. The second step is that of a warrior. It is generally observed that a player feels elated at success, but failure gives him disappointment. With a warrior, however, it is not so. His very motto is, "A soldier never quits till death." Valiant struggle and superhuman bravery in spite of numerous wounds. This is the message of the life of a great warrior. The third step is that of the ruler. This is the stage when we have realized our vision of life, have actualized the dream we saw. All that we had desired, all that we had cherished is now in the palm of our hand. Life is at its apogee, now there is only to savor this experience. But the one attendant problem, invariably found at this stage, is that after having reached here people become egoist. Lest we become one, there is the fourth and last step, the step of a great man. Like a true saint, we should share our glories and accomplishments with others. We should go to those who need us. We should reach out to every door and every home, and help them too, to realize their dreams. May their lives too, be permeated with fragrance, may spring breeze come to their lives too. This should be our prayer of love in action.
28. Let the fragrance of Jivan Sadhana waft across on this Vasant. Madhu vata taite madhu ksharanti sindhva. Madhvi arnahe santvo sadhe. Yajurved 13:27. Following the cosmic order, the winds blow soothingly and the rivers flow with nectarine waters. May the herbs be sweet for us. Honey sweet Vasant, spring, has once again come to our homes and lives with its full zest and vibrancy. It has brought on its wings the invigorating message of Jivan Sadhana, the same message as had come to our revered Guru Satta, spiritual guide, Param Pujya Gurudev on the Vasant Parv in 1926. This time too, the air is permeated with the same fragrance, the horizon has the same glow, the nature is suffused with the same exuberant surge of vital energy. In 1926, the Vasant time message in the life of Gurudev had been brought by his own spiritual guru. This time the celestial tunes of this message have been composed for us by the transcendent consciousness of our Gurudev. The advent of this Vasant is a time of test for us. On this auspicious and festive occasion, are we as wakeful and alert as was our revered Gurudev, who in his very first meeting with his Guru surrendered himself completely to him and became a sadhak of Jivan Sadhana? As a sadhak and a disciple, every dimension of the life of Gurudev is a source of inspiration to be read, contemplated upon and followed. From the very first instant of his Jivan Sadhana, words of the Guru became Vedic dicta and unflinching faith in the Guru, his whole identity. In every aspect of sadhana, be it dietary rules, or refinement of conduct and thoughts, or the awe-inspiring tap, the standards set by him are milestones for us. Can we, his spiritual progeny, surrender ourselves completely to the Sadguru? Do we possess the courage to be true disciples? Are we earnest to overcome fully our stultifying lethargy, and the unyielding ego which fumes and frets at the drop of a hat? Those aspiring to tread this path should judge themselves on this Vasant Parv in the light of Gurudev's life of a sadhak. This is the touchstone of their sadhana and of the sincerity of their discipleship. It is generally observed that on the one hand we talk endlessly of Jivan Sadhana and take pride in our discipleship, and on the other, are ever ready to plunge into a do-or-die situation for some small benefit or satisfaction of the ego. Annihilate, if we must, our selfishness, our egoity, our conceit. A true disciple's identity is non-distinct from his guru's. Only the gross body is his own, the inner consciousness is that of his Sadguru. This is possible only when the merry journey of life is steeled with the hot embers of tap, the flames growing bigger and higher with every advance of the step. The sadhak life of Gurudev is its best example. When did he crave for respect and honor? When did he bother for his identity? When did his ego obstruct his path? He had but only one passion, the task assigned to him by his Guru. An intense and fervent desire to dissolve himself fully in this task was his only identity. Every second of his life, every day, month and year of it, sent out only this message. It is this ardor which elevated him to the pinnacle of sadhana. If supra-sensory powers are to be given recognition as visible proofs, it can be positively said Gurudev accomplished rarest of the wonders in the course of his Jivan Sadhana. He not only acquired the spiritual glories and powers scarcely within the reach of even Mahayogis, but also liberally transmitted them to some worthy recipients. As a Mahasiddha, great mystic, the life of Gurudev is as much a saga of heroic endeavor, rigorous austerities and supreme sacrifice, as it is of compassion, paternal love, kind-heartedness and extraordinary generosity for his followers. If we can attentively perceive, this bounty is available to us even now. Only his gross body has gone, his transcendent consciousness still pervades every pore of our beings. He exists just around us. We have only to open our hearts, and then we will realize how eager he is to shower his innumerable heavenly gifts on us. Even at this moment, through these words, he wants to mingle his voice with our emotions, something like what he had said on one occasion. Try to shape and see and experience yourself as a person who has courage as well as illumined wisdom, who is humble, whose character has the fragrance of tap, and who has the capacity for ceaseless striving for self-growth. If he occasionally stumbles, or is faced with a failure, he is not perturbed or loses his patience, but resumes his journey on the sadhana path with renewed vigor and courage, because he knows that the setback is temporary, failure is transitory, at the end success is certain. You and only you have a right over the ultimate and supreme accomplishment of Jivan Sadhana. This is inevitable. No one can alter this verity in any circumstances, because the responsibility of taking you to that pinnacle is mine. These words of Gurudev are a source of unlimited energy and courage for us, his followers, on this Vasant Parv. So, no more delay or prevarication. With him in mind, step ahead for Jivan Sadhana now, this moment.
29. Golden tips for living a purposeful life. Om Bhur-Bhuvaha Swaha, Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayad. Rigved 3, 62, 10, Yajurved 3, 35, Samved 14, 62. May we behold in our inner self the Supreme Being who is the embodiment of vital energy, Pran, the destroyer of suffering, the annihilator of sin, the joy incarnate, the sublime, the resplendent, the divine. May that Supreme Being inspire our minds towards the enlightened, righteous path. Invaluable resource, friends. The refinement and sublimation of personality depends upon cultivation of virtuous qualities. All of you can shape your personality in a better way and transform it into a glorious one. Eminence and nobility of personality is an invaluable asset which leads to success in all domains of the physical, worldly, and spiritual life. Wealth, materialistic tools or support and cooperation of others alone is not sufficient for worthwhile achievements. These resources are useful and could be necessary, but above all this, the master key is sublimity of one's own personality. How to refine the talents? How to develop an elevated personality? How to endow it with virtuous qualities and potentials? This is the paramount question, the central focus of the art of living. Finding its methodology and proceeding accordingly is indeed like achieving at least half the goal towards a brilliant and fulfilling life. From crudity to chiseled refinement, Jivan Sadhana means transmutation and enhancement of potentials, abilities and conduct by self-endeavor. The subtle mental imprints of the previous lives in the chain of 8400,000 yonis, different life forms, continue to influence one's tendencies in the human life as well. As a result, in the crude state of human life, one's cravings, behavior and actions are often driven by beastly instincts and negative mental tendencies. Until uprooted and thrown out, these kusanskaras, evil impressions on the mind, hinder the refinement of personality. Elimination of these untoward, negative and pernicious instincts, habits and desires by untiring efforts and simultaneous cultivation of ennobling character and deeds is the real sadhana of human life. This sadhana is no less exacting than taming and training a wild animal and to engage it in constructive activities as per our will. As crude metal from the mines is melted and refined in the fire before it could be processed to make shining ornaments, likewise the impurities of the kusanskaras need to be burnt out in the fire of devout ascetic practices, tap, of self-restraint and penance. The endeavors towards self-refinement simultaneously accompanied by those of self-development through cultivation of noble qualities, upright conduct and character, values of human life and promotion of the worthy potentials and talents. This is how we can manufacture and design the precious jewels from the gold mine of capabilities gifted to us by nature. We should root out from the field of our life all the thorny weeds of evil tendencies and weaknesses of our nature and remeld ourselves as civilized and cultured human beings. True success possible only through single-pointed sadhana. Sadhana is the key to paranormal attainments and preeminent success in human life. Jivan Sadhana should be an integral part of our lives. For this, we should introspect and analyze our thoughts, our conduct and our activities impartially and thoroughly. We should also develop positive attitude and sincerely endeavor to uproot the infirmities, untoward and evil tendencies lying dormant within us. This process of constant self-effort of gradual refinement and upliftment also implies conscious self-development, widening of outlook and altruistic involvement in the sorrows and joys of others. Self-development is achieved by substitution of selfishness by selflessness. This is what leads to supernormal attainments and awakening of divinity in the human heart. Positive transformation of attitude. The cornerstone of overall self-transformation is transformation of the attitude. Change your outlook towards yourself. Think and feel yourself not as the gross body, the immortal soul, for which this life and the body is only a sojourn in the infinite journey. You are born for the self-realization, for enlightenment, unbounded spiritual progress. No doubt, you should take care of healthy sustenance of the body. But don't confine the goal of your life only to blindly pursue after the possession of its comforts and pleasures. Your attitude should be eating to survive, and not surviving to eat. Take proper care of the body as an instrument for the optimum use of the faculties of your sense organs and the mind. Change your views and behavior on the personal, familial and social fronts of life accordingly. Once you turn your attention inward and look at yourself as the soul, you will find marvelous solutions to all your problems and worries. The door of immense joy and progress will be wide open before you. True devotion, friends. Life is a precious gift. Don't let worldly allurements and attachments overpower and overshadow the beatitude and sublimity of your real self and the pristine dignity of your life. Look at the life of Goswami Tulsidas, for example. When he was blindly driven by sensual attractions and attachments, he received nothing but disdain, scorn and agony. But once his inner self was lit by the light of devotion to God, the same man, Rambola, became the great, venerable Saint Tulsidas, the author of the holy Ramcharitmanas of immortal glory. But see, his devotion was not like ours. We chant the mantras, rotate the rosary, but our minds remain restive and unstable, roving around our tensions, desires, and whatnot. His was a total self-surrender. Nothing mattered to him except the devotion to Lord Ram. Such was the potency of his inner fervor for his deity that it could compel Lord Ram himself to appear before him and bless him in his embodied form. Fight the Mahabharata within yourself. Mahabharata is said to be the greatest war ever fought on this earth. Friends, you should know that the first step towards spiritual upliftment is to fight this gigantic war yourself in the battlefield of your own psyche, to wipe out its accumulated vices and tendencies. Our lives remain enslaved to the insane appetites and tendencies of the mind until and unless we are able to win this perpetual war against hostile hordes of Kauravas entrenched within us. Winning this war means attaining ultimate victory, becoming omnipotent. Those who conquer their minds are called Manasvi. Success lies at their feet. They are the ones who become truly great personalities, saints, divine beings. If you care and aspire for elevation to higher domains in life, join the great battle against the evils lodged within you. The first step towards triumph in this battle is the adoption of the principle of simple living and high thinking. Rise and march towards higher goals, friends. If you adopt the principle of simple living and high thinking, you would soon start attaining rapid progress in life. Simplicity of lifestyle will automatically eliminate your sense of scarcity. This, together with the positive and constructive transformation of your thinking and feelings, will enable you to make constructive use of whatever resources you have. You would be happier with the same set of tools, facilities and resources you had earlier. Not only that, by prudent use of your potentials you will also be able to help others. Even if you are not able to go out and work for social service or offer visible help to others, you must keep your thoughts open for that. Think good, think high, think like the great, the wise. Your imaginations, your aspirations must now be directed towards better, brighter and nobler objectives. Leave the slippery path of decline, come out of the hell and look at beauty of the heaven, live for ultimate salvation. Salvation implies emancipation from all evils, sensual attractions, selfish attachments, illusions and sufferings. Moving towards the heaven, divine paradise, means pursuing those ideals and principles which bestow everlasting peace, unalloyed joy, pure knowledge and soul contentment. Start bringing about the needed change in your thinking, living, behavior, actions from this very moment, so that you could march ahead towards the attainment of the preeminent goal of life. Internet, awgp.org, dsvv.org